All right. In the figure above, what is the length of line segment NQ? To do this question, we want to go back to a geometry concept known as geometric means. That basically involves three triangles, all of them being right triangles, two nested inside of the big one. So the diagram that I'm referring to is the one to the right here. I just want to quickly run you through how this works. If you want to find the length of the altitude, you simply take h squared equals x times y, and that's the first equation right here. To find, let's say we're going to find this length here, which I've named A, you take the long leg of that triangle times the biggest triangle's hypotenuse, and that's the second equation right here. And last but not least, to find B, which is the hypotenuse of the smallest triangle, you take the leg of that small triangle times again the length of the entire figure. So those three equations you need to know to be able to work this problem out. So let's go back to the question at hand. So examine this triangle here. It is a right triangle, right? Notice that you're given 3 and you're given 4. For the astute, you might remember that one of the main triples, Pythagorean triples that is, in geometry are the 3, 4, 5 triangle. So we know by that rule the missing length here is 5. So it's basically as though we found this entire length. Now we're going to use that length to figure out the missing pieces that we're going to need. So let's say ultimately we want NQ, which is h, the height, the altitude right here. But to get there, we got to work our way there slowly, to that point slowly. Let's decide we're going to first of all look for the length of x, focusing on this little triangle. And the rule that we're going to use is basically this one over here. And it says 3 squared equals x times the whole length, which is a 5. So x equals 9 over 5. I just solved for x right there. Now let's repeat that process, but this time let's solve for the y value. So repeating the process, to solve for the y value, we'll take np squared equals the leg of it times the entire length over here. So let's apply that knowledge. It's going to be 4 squared equals y times 5. So this time I'll show the work a little bit just in case someone got lost on how we got the x equals 9 over 5. I just isolated y here. So I'm going to divide both sides by 5. So we then know that y is now equals to 16 over 5. Now, ultimately, our goal is to find the hypotenuse, okay? So we want to find the length of NQ. Now, to get there, we're going to use the third rule, which is this one over here. And it says to find the hypotenuse squared, so I'm going to say h squared, which is what we're looking for, equals the value of x, which we found to be 9 over 5, times the value of y, which you found to be 16 over 5. When you multiply these together, you end up having h squared equals 144 over 25. And now we're going to square root both sides. You'll find that h, when you plug it in your calculator, is 2.4. So the answer to this question is C. I hope that makes a whole lot of sense.